Welcome to Inside the Skev, and I'm your host, Aaron Masliansky. Today, I have a return guest, my wife, Stacy Masliansky, and we are here to talk about a really cool event that's going to be coming up. And signups are there. We're going to talk all about it, what it is. So, and Stacy's the best person to talk to about this with me. So, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me on again. It's an honor.
Oh, it is. You gotta be really special to be on twice. So there's only a few that have done that. So I guess being my wife qualifies.
Good. I feel lucky.
Yes, you are. So for those who don't know, Stacy was on a little while back to talk about her business, BrainLinks Academics, and she does academic tutoring, specializing in with children with dyslexia, and she's based in Evanston. So how's that all been going for you?
You know, business has been busy. It's a busy time. I will say that pandemic aside, there's always a need for interventions for dyslexia. That hasn't really changed, but I think the timeline of when students, when reading needs become really apparent has kind of shifted a little bit. And given that there has been a little bit of a slide or a gap with pandemic learning in the last couple of years, I think schools are thankfully trying to, and families are addressing the reading needs earlier than in the past.
Yeah, I think that people have really recognized, like you're saying, that you got to address it right away. So, yeah, your business definitely has been picked up over the past couple of years, and you've changed locations of where you are now too, but still you're available at brainlinksacademics.com.
Yep, that's where you can find me.
That's right, or on a Peloton bike, which is why you're here today, because coming up on October 23rd. There's going to be an event Sunday morning from 9 to 11 at the Peloton store in Skokie at the Old Orchard Shopping Center, where we've partnered with Peloton and Therabody. They're going to be there too to show their, air compression boots and their, Theraguns, and it's just incredible for, recovery. But Peloton, we're going to be able to use their bikes. We're going to do a group class for either you can go on the bike, you could go on the treadmill, and their new rower. There's one rower that they have. Actually, I think that might be sold out, those tickets right now. But we've got two classes, one that's going to start at 9:15 and one that's going to start at 10 for all those different devices. So, I had gone to the store recently just to go in there because I'm a, huge dork with this stuff. And I wanted to just check out the store and see their treadmill and, got to talking with their salespeople and thought, how great it would be to do an Inside the Skev type of event at the store. And, the reason why I'm so into it and the health and everything is just because of our experience that we've had over the past couple of years where, I don't know, it was probably August, September of 2020. You turned to me and said, hey, I think that you got to pay a little bit more attention to your health and what's going on. And obviously it was a tough time with what was going on with the pandemic. You're sitting inside your house, the regular gym is closed or you're afraid to go in there because of COVID. So we decided to get one of the bikes, and, it's been a pretty incredible experience. I mean, what have you found being able to use the bike and what your experience has been like for that?
Well, I mean, I think that, as you said, in the early days, 2020, I had tried some home workouts, some Zoom classes from various workout fitness instructors, and it just didn't feel like it was effective. I was just feeling like we were trying what we could to survive mentally, physically, and when I tried out on their app some of their classes and realized that this really is not just a 30-minute fitness experience, but really it's transformative. It really reaches beyond the screen to really see results. And I wasn't seeing that with some of these other piecemeal classes. And the thing that I really have found so beneficial with Peloton, and I'm going to get a little preachy here, but I mean, we started with just the app and we were able to use it on our phone or iPad or other devices. I think our Apple TV also has an app. We didn't get equipment right away. We were able to use equipment that we had, or the outdoor feature on the app is great for listening for audio runs. And now we do have some equipment, but it's also wonderful with the app that you can use it when you travel or when you are without your power or whatever it is. You don't have to totally give up your streak.
Right. And I think that's the key thing. It's like we have accountability because, just a simple little thing. And also between the two of us, we're our accountability partners.
Yes.
And I think that, when you look at it and what the pandemic has done and everything and just how hard it is to get on a regular habit, but when you do, then you can stick with it. I look at it towards the community here. And I think having a healthy community just bodes well for everybody.
Right. I really think we've fed off of each other and it's pretty contagious. I think, the fitness begets fitness. I think some of the features that they have that I've really found powerful are their programs where you start a program, and I'm generally not a quitter. But I love that it holds you accountable as well. It's not even just, if somebody doesn't have an accountability partner and, a family member or friend, that there are ways to build in accountability with Peloton, with these programs. They really push challenges where you want to get a certain number of classes or a certain number of workout minutes in a year, and they celebrate it, and you feel rewarded.
Yeah, we're neck and neck with each other. We're like the craziest people out there with this, especially when we compare to who else, like our followers or friends, and it's just
all right. You're letting everyone in on our crazy.
Yeah, so check us out. I mean, I'm Aaron Maz. I am so original.
I think I've changed mine over time. Smiles 4, miles 18, and the 4 and the 18 are numerical.
Yeah, we're kind of out there on this journey, but I think a lot of people think, okay, Peloton is just this bike. From what you see in media, and there's definitely been a lot written out about it in the business and whatever, but it's an incredible platform. And by what I mean by that is that there's also a ton of strength training classes. They have a treadmill with running. They're coming out with a rower, which I think is so cool that the rower is at the store and you could try it out at this event. By the way, we're not being paid for any of this stuff. We just love it and, thought to do the party. A lot of times realtors do parties at, different events, and I've done something like at a virtual reality place. People do things at bars or restaurants. For me, what I wanted to do was something health related. And I think Peloton is just a great way to engage with everybody. But they have everything. I mean, we have some other equipment too that's not Peloton. And it's cool to try out all these different types of things, but we use it with the Peloton, like on our TV or whatever it may be. And one thing that, we decided to do when we got the machine, and we've evolved this over time, is we took a look at our basement and we used this one part of our basement as a guest room where we had a bed and some other stuff. And when everything was going on with COVID, it's like, okay, well, no one's coming over. So we kind of changed things up a bit, and we made a space in our basement that's got, mats. It's got, treadmill, a rower, a Peloton bike. It's got the TV. It's got a mirror. We've got the weights. I mean, it's freaking awesome. But I think that, when I'm going around and showing houses to people now, that's something that comes up a lot in conversation. Where's my workout space going to be? And how do you plan for that? And I think that that's a different type of mentality, because certainly people are going back to gyms and you could use it. But I think from what I found is that it's so much easier just to come downstairs and do your workout. You're going to have a much more effective workout because you don't have all the commuting time back and forth. And it just, again, it builds simple habits. I mean, don't you find that?
Absolutely. I want to say going to the gym probably 2 to 3 times a week, which I felt proud of. I felt accomplished working that into a regular work week. Now, and I think I hope I don't get criticized here, but now it's daily. But not every day is a hard workout. Not every day is a cardio or a strength training day. There are days that it's purely just to stretch or meditate, or which are other features that I think are amazing that they incorporate into their platform. Some days it's yoga or Pilates, but it's because it's here and it's accessible in our home. It is something that I work into my me time every day.
Yeah, it builds mental strength and physical strength at the same time. I mean, I've had over the years a lot of back pain issues, and I've gone to physical therapy, and they teach you all these different exercises, and they print off a sheet of what you should do, and it generally helps, but to stick with it, I find it has been hard. And one of the cool things about doing these strength training classes, like core work, is that it's really strengthened up my core. And I find a lot less issues having to do with my back. And certainly I get soreness, or, you need to take recovery, and stretching, I think, is so important. And now it's like having that class, having a guy that you can go and do these stretches or whatever it may be, makes it easier just to do. And it just feels awesome.
Yeah, it really does. And the other benefit, one other benefit, I'm sure there are many, of having the space in our home is that our children, who are 12 and just about to be 10, have also now been able to see us having access to the equipment or to the platform. There are plenty of classes that I feel are safe for the kids to use and to utilize. So it's really cool that I think otherwise, I mean, other than sports, I don't think that they would be showing interest in fitness outside of gym class.
Right. That's exactly. And our son's done some of the classes, and our daughter has too. And it's, I think that's a good regimen to get into as you're young, because then it's easy to keep it going as you get older, and you've got that good base to go off of.
Totally. I think it really has been about creating habits. And Peloton is just easy to make, to form those habits. I think the way that their programs are set up, you just feel like it's addictive.
It's totally addictive. So, one thing that we're doing is, of course, this party that's going to be going on in October 23rd. And by the way, if you go to skevinson.com, it's scrolling across the front page where you can click and sign up. It goes to an Eventbrite page, and you could sign up, or you could find it on my social media. And about half the spots are already taken up already. So I would say get there quickly if you can, because you could get one, however many bikes there are, however many treadmills there are, that's the maximum of what we could do per class period. But I just think it's going to be fun. You're going to get to meet other people that are there who are trying it out, who may have the machines or are just curious about it. And they're likely people who are in Skokie or Evanston. So it's just I think a cool way to meet up.
And I was just going to add, I mean, it's beginners are welcome. If you've never been on a bike, a spin bike or a treadmill before, or you think I'm not a runner, like the way that these classes are structured, it's really it's user friendly, and it's really great for introductory for somebody who's just not familiar or not sure that they have the endurance. There's ways to modify or adjust.
100%. And I think actually one great thing about it is, we've gone to the gyms. We used to be members of Orange Theory, which I think is excellent. But if you're, you don't feel comfortable with being in a gym with other people, maybe you're self-conscious about your body image or whatever it may be, the fact that it's in your home and nobody has to see you do this, and you can try it out, I think is just such an empowering type of tool.
Yeah.
Where you can start it out. You could do these different programs like you mentioned, and they're beginner ones, and you could learn how to do strength training just from the beginning without any weights. You want to do a dance class because that's great cardio. No one's around watching you. Go ahead. You don't have to be embarrassed.
Totally. Oh, yeah. I mean, thankfully, no one sees me when I'm kickboxing or shadow boxing.
Shadow boxing, yeah.
Yeah.
They should do kickboxing.
They should.
Yeah.
That's next.
That is. So another thing that's going to be at this party is Therabody. So they just opened up a store called Reset by Therabody in Old Orchard. It's the first one in Illinois. And it's basically a place for them to show off their products, the Theragun. And then they've got all this other stuff for recovery. So they've got like vitamin drips. We didn't try that. They've got these different kind of air compression boots. They've got cryotherapy, and it's interesting. So we had the amazing opportunity to go and check out their services, and we had the Theragun percussive therapy and the cryotherapy, where we went into this room that's, I don't know, like negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit, I think it was.
At least. It was cold.
Yeah, and you get to choose a song when you go in there. I said, let's hear Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. So I thought that was pretty good, and they complimented me on it.
It was a good song choice.
It was totally good. So that place, though, it's so awesome where they've got these things to help you just to feel good. I mean, you do a hard workout, well, you need to recover properly. So they're going to be there. They're going to be having their products there. So if anyone wants to try out the Theragun, they're not going to have cryotherapy there, but I think they'll have their air compression boots too.
And I was just going to add that equally as important as, staying physically active has been for us with the Peloton. I think the recoveries and the stretches and doing things to help our muscles and our body recover has been equally important. So I think it's awesome that we have access to this whole new Reset, which is, I think you said the first in Illinois, or the only store in Illinois.
Yeah, I think the first. They're probably going to open. I mean, what do I know? But yeah. I would assume they're going to open up more.
Right.
So that's going to be fun. But I mean, it's just, it's a whole way of thinking about things. And, you can get into ruts. For us, we've gotten into a whole new habit set. I think it relates, besides Peloton and all these things, it's, what you eat, how you sleep, we do track all these things. We're really, really into this. We love the stats. But I think it's all about just the accountability and making sure that you're sticking to what you're doing, because it's so easy to lose the habit. Life happens. But if you can stick to doing things and measuring, checking your blood pressure, whatever it may be, that you are staying within it and you can continue on.
Totally.
Yeah. But, so we are, just so excited for this event. So excited to share with people what's worked for us, and, it may not work for you. We're not telling everybody that you have to do this or anything like that. I just thought it would be great to open this up to the Inside the Skev community, share what we've been doing, have some fun. Sunday morning, I'm going to have some water bottles there, Inside the Skev water bottles, limited edition. So you can always, by the way, you don't actually need to come there and do a class. I have I think 4 tickets available where it's just general admission. Come hang out, come say hello. I'll be there. We'll be there. It's going to be fun.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. And it's free, by the way. So if you want to talk real estate, well, I'll be available for that too. So again, October 23rd, 9 to 11 in the morning in Old Orchard at the Peloton store. It's kind of near the movie theaters that are on the east side of the mall. And it's on Eventbrite, skevinson.com, all there. But hope to see you there.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.